This is Trip. They said they needed somebody whose mic demeanor matches how the D-League get it hype inside that ice arena. For live action analysis and highlights, you need to let your host on the mic, Mr. Reichert, be the light to lead you through life between the pipes. Incite like an encyclopedia. Look inside yourself, find the fight to compete in you. Get in while you can, the numbers doubling fast. Asses in the seats and snot bubbles on the glass. Sign your name on the line for your spot.
All right, welcome to D-League Radio. We are here for the first of 5 games. We're getting a little late start here, so we'll bring you up to speed on all the particulars as we have time. Just know that I'm Matt Whips, joined by Scott Stouffer, and we are here for the 11:30 matchup of the Blues versus the Wild Goose. Scott, good to see you today.
Yeah, good to see you too, Matt. It's a pleasure working with you here today.
All right, so we are underway. The Goose pressing the matter. Trying to keep it in is Torgerson, and does. He chips it down, but it's taken by Alan Patton, who chips it up. Just past Matt Coleman. Strathman gets it for the Goose and clears. Up to Josh Dunt. Dunt's got a lane, but he just can't quite get past the defender. Now Torgerson picks it up. He's forced wide. Looking to center it. It ricochets back to Strathman, who keeps it in. Shoots. And that is held by Damon Punslin. All right, so Scott, we are just underway. This is a battle between the Blues, who are in third place at 5-7-2, good for 12 points, against the Goose, 8-3-3 for 19 points. They're in second. What do you think of this matchup today?
It looks like it should be a pretty solid matchup. Looking at the recent history, it looks like the Goose have kind of held the Blues in check, but every week, every game, the Blues have just slowly kept making it a better game. So we'll see if they're able to punch one in the W column today.
So Reed Jensen clears it out for the Blues. It's retrieved by Phil Pashka behind his own net. And that's deflected and kept in by the Blues. Jeff Duncan shoots it wide. Now the Goose get a second chance to clear. Still kept in. That's Jennifer Wubbin. Good forecheck there by Wubbin. And now Bricketto down deep. So good pressure early by the Blues. Lyle Collins just can't quite keep that one in. Duncan's going to retrieve it for the Blues. No icing, as Bricketto did tip the puck. Duncan looks to take it up the sideboards. Kept in by the Goose. Duncan retrieves it behind his own net. Goes around the inboards to Reed Jensen, but Jake Adams gets there first. Just gets out of the zone where it's retrieved by Pashka. Pashka bothered by Bricketto. Now Josh Malang. Looking to center. Just goes wide and deflected. Great opportunity there by Malang.
It looks like there's a little confusion there by the Blues players in front of the goal on who was going to take that puck.
So here comes Reed Jensen. He's got Bricketto in the center, if he can get it to him. Centers and fires all the way. And it's going to be retrieved by Josh Malang. Blues in the middle of a line change. Good stand-up play there by Nick Haynes. Haynes shoots wide. Pinched in there by Jensen, and now the Goose do clear. Barnhill had trouble momentarily, but does clear it back to the zone, and now Strathman's going to bring it in for the Goose. Good centering pass. Punslin comes out, makes a big save. That was Josh Malang for the Goose. And Punslin had to be aggressive there, Scott, because Malang had all kinds of room.
Yeah, that was a nice centering pass that went across the ice, hopped over the Blues defender right onto his stick, and then Punslin did the right move, come out, took the bottom of the net away, made himself big, and just shot it right into him.
Okay, so no score, just underway, 16:09 to go in the first. Back to Sesher at the blue line. He can't quite keep it in. It's being pursued there by Patrick McFarland. Now John Barnhill takes it for the Blues. Looks for an opening. Tries to hit Larry Hippen, but that goes long. And now it's retrieved by Strathman. Strathman still with the puck, looking for an open man. He's going to take it by himself. Still with room. The Blues are giving him room, Scott. He's going to take it.
Yeah, nice play there right at the end by, who was that, McFarland to finally cut him off.
And it's chipped out by Barnhill. Strathman again will reset for the Goose. Gets it up to Matt Burns, just past his reach. Haynes chips it ahead, but now it's retrieved by Cameron Brose. Check it, that's Torgerson. Brings it into the zone. Looking for an opening. Centering pass. Just out of reach. Josh Dunt was there, but it was just out of his reach.
Hey, it was the right move, the right play. It's just a little off on the pass.
Torgerson still with the puck, just making one big circle here in the zone. He centers. Good defense there by the Blues because Matt Burns was open. But a fine play by Barnhill to break that up. Now McFarland from his own end. He's got plenty of room, so he skates it up himself. McFarland still with the puck. Forced wide by Strathman. Blues in the middle of a change. Puts it on net, and that's right up against the post. And Nick Foster had to be careful there, Scott. That's one of those things where you're not quite sure where the puck is, but you know you better not move very much or it could be in your own net.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's always key for a goalie, and what you always need to do is hug that post on those poor angle shots and to make sure nothing just bounces in or trickles in. It was a good stop.
So the Blues win the faceoff back to Collins. Over to Brody Sargent, just in his skates. He battles with Brose. And now Collins emerges for the Blues. Looking for numbers, he's going to take it in himself. He's got some help, centers, just past Patton. Now Matt Coleman from the point. Coleman's got a big shot, just goes wide. That was deflected wide. Great chance for the Blues. Good pressure here by the Blues. It's kept in by Sargent. He shoots it, that's deflected. Collins couldn't quite keep that in, and now the Blues will reset.
A lot of good offensive pressure there from the Blues on that series of shots there. So
the puck goes out of play, 13-18 to go in the first, still no score. Scott, we want to talk about the scratches today. This could be a factor. A lot of players gone for the Goose. We've got Dan McCarthy, Chris Robinson, Brad Buck, and Dylan McMahon all out today, and those are some big names for the Goose.
Yeah, Nick Peterson was one of those that you said on the top of the list, and he's their leading goal scorer, so they got to rely on some people to pick up that slack that with him not being here.
All right, so Strathman retrieves for the Goose. He chips it out, trying to hit Malang just past him. Still onside. It's kept in by Dunt. Now Sargent's going to retrieve it behind his own net. Takes a look. He chips it up the boards. Just got out. Boy, he had Patton just for a moment, but just overskated it. Now Coleman chips it ahead where it's taken by team captain Jake Adams. Adams gets it back. Looking to go cross ice. That's intercepted momentarily by Wiggins. Looks like the Goose are just offside there. And talking about scratches, according to what we received, only Steve Berdovich is out for the Blues today, so they're a relatively full bench.
Yeah, that should fresh legs should be able to hopefully wear down the Goose as this game go along, and with offensive pressure like the last couple series that they had, it'll go a long way to getting that W today. So
the faceoff just out the zone, one back by the Goose. Chipped in by Dunt. It's retrieved by Duncan. Kind of a slow pass across the zone, and the Goose keep it in. This is Torgerson. Rolls off his stick. Barnhill now for the Blues. He tries to clear. Kept in. That's Phil Pashka. He skates in. Just shoots wide. Good pressure now by the Goose. Torgerson tries to center. Chipped out, but Barnhill keeps it in. That's Strathman, check that. And Scott, we're going to be saying Josh Strathman's name a lot today. He's on the ice a lot. I've mentioned this before. He's got one of the longest sticks in the league. Plus, he's very tall anyway. He makes a lot of plays like that at the point.
Yeah, and that's what you really need out of your D-man, especially on the point, is to hug them boards so any type of wraparound or ring outs, you're able to keep it in to keep that offensive pressure going.
All right, so face off to the left of Punselin. One back by the Blues. And now it's Barnhill behind his own net. We've said that several times already. Tries to chip it out. That's kept in by Pashka. Goose continuing with the pressure. Now it's taken by Haynes. He goes up to the opposite way and he will clear. That's going to end up on net, so no icing. Foster steers that out of the zone. And now Cameron Brose chips it up for Torgerson. He's bothered by Bricketto, who chips it up, and now Strathman. A lot of back and forth in the neutral zone right now. Not a lot of pressure from either side. And here comes Barnhill again. He tangles with Bros. Gets it up the middle to Wubbin. Wubbin calmly flips it over to Burketto. He's bothered by Bros. Blues still trying to clear, and now finally do. Strathman again. Not sure he's left the ice yet, Scott.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Doesn't seem like it anyway. All right, here comes Adams now, looking to split the D, but good play there by Haynes. Haynes gets it over to Larry Hippen. Blues trying to stay on sides, and finally they get it in deep. And our man Strathman again tries to clear. It's kept in by Barnhill. Barnhill shoots. Stick the side by Foster.
That was a good shot there.
Now Jensen battles down low. He's got McFarland in the high slot. Tries to center, comes back where Haynes takes it at the blue line. He shoots just wide.
Looked like that might have hit somebody on the way through the crowd.
Dunt looks to clear, but he's bothered by McFarland, and finally Strathman chips it out to the neutral zone. Or Barnhill takes it again for the Blues, still trying to get on side. And Adams bothers him and chips it into the zone. This is a good play because the Goose were in the middle of a change. And now the Goose do clear. And it's chipped in by Cody Clark. Haynes again tried to hit Hippen, but just beyond his reach. Bit of a mix-up here. And just cleared by the Goose. Could have been disaster there.
Yeah, it looked like a good thing Sesher was awake and was able to get to that puck at the last second.
So Malang takes it momentarily. Now it's retrieved by Adams. Finally, the Goose get it in. But Haynes clears it right away for the Blues. And this will go for an icing. So, Scott, not a lot of sustained pressure by either team, but there's little bits of waves going on of offense, and there's been some really good chances when that has happened.
Yeah, and, you know, one thing I think maybe the Blues might need to do here, it looks like they're just trying to wring it out when they're getting the puck out. What they need to do is use their forwards and you know, use them as that bounce pass to get it to a center that's coming out of the zone to break it out instead of just hoping to get it past the deep people. They're doing a really good job for the Goose holding the pucks.
Yeah, it's a great point. If your wings are open along the sideboards, that's a perfect outlet. Good play by Wiggins to chip that out. That's retrieved by Torges, and he's going to get there first, but he's bothered by Patton. Patton on the forecheck. Tries to get it over to Bros and does. Bros chips that down, and it's another icing. So, Scott, I think we're seeing the effects of those absent players for the Goose. Mm-hmm. But I was going to say earlier that since Alan Patton has joined the Blues, they're like a different team. He really added a great dimension that they didn't necessarily have before, and they are a different team since he joined their club a couple months back.
Yeah, you can tell he's definitely one of the better people on his skates to start with, which is, you know, really key, especially in this division.
All right, so the Goose cleared around, but not enough for icing, so it's retrieved by Collins. He takes a look. He's got a little bit of room. Chips it up wisely. Good veteran move. Patton chips it around, and it goes out of play. I think we've all done that play. We try for that chip around, and we sometimes forget there's no glass there, so you better not chip it too high.
Exactly, and it's just a little hot on the chip, but it was the right move because if he was able to get by the D-man, he would have had a clear lane in for a really good scoring opportunity.
All right, still no score. 6:18 to go in the first. Great to have you with us here on D-League Radio and D-League Radio TV. First of 5 contests today. We'll get to those other matchups shortly. Chipped out by Duncan. Ooh. Back in, where Duncan retrieves again, tries to find Patton. It chips off his stick, but Patton pursues it. But Pashka's going to get there first for the Goose. And now Patton retrieves it. He's looking for an opening. Tries the wraparound, but that goes wide. And now Josh Dent centers it right up the middle. Collins trying to keep it in and does. He shoots wide. Pashka keeps it along the boards, but it's kept in momentarily by Duncan. And here comes Dunt. By himself, but he gets there first. Looking for some help. Dunt battles along the boards, still has the puck. He battles with Duncan. That's kept in by Pashka. Now Burns is going to take it behind his own net, or behind the Blues net. He chips it around where Coleman's going to get there first. Coleman chips it, but Adams keeps it in for the Goose. He centers, that's broken up by Patton. Strathman, or Devil Dog keeps it in, John Sesher. Now Dunt battles with Collins. Blues really need a clear right now.
Yeah, they're just doing a lot of hoping and praying with just blind shots against the boards, hoping it'll ring out.
So Duncan chips it up past Matt Coleman. And good back check there by Sesher. Gets it back to Malang. Gets that on net. Punselin calmly steers that aside. And Barnhill now. Malang gets it away from him, shoots, and scores! So Josh Malang got that puck away from Barnhill. Looked like an innocent play, Scott, but you never know, and that's why you forecheck. And Malang got that puck back and took a look, which is a great thing to see, because he took his time and he made a great shot, and it is 1-0 Goose.
Yeah, he was. It was just a good play all around. The D tried to clear it, couldn't get it through him, and it just bounced off a stick, and he was able to stick with the puck, and then just one-on-one with the goalie and beat him 5-hole.
So just under 4 minutes to go, and Malang opens the scoring for the Goose. Now Jensen takes it in deep for the Blues. Centers, but nobody's home, but it ricochets right to Wubbin. She overskates. Now a good clear where it's taken by Bros. But a good back check there by Reed Jensen.
It was a good play to come back and hustle to take that stick away.
Definitely. Now Barnhill tries to get up the boards and finally does on the second attempt. Looks like this is going to be an icing, just barely. All right, so 1-0, 3:12 to go. We want to remind you that all of D-League Radio broadcasts are brought to you by the Keg Stand, now in their third full year of sponsorship. Definitely the primary sponsor of D-League Radio. 3530 Westtown Parkway in West Des Moines. Over 90 beers on tap with new tappings every week. Some of the best food in town, too, Scott. Great food and drink specials all day, Monday through Friday.
Love their chicken wings down there.
Oh, yeah, everybody does. All right, so the Goose win it back to Strathman. He's got a shot. You get all of that one. But Punselin saw it the whole way and gloves it, and we're going to have another face-off. But again, that's what can happen when you utilize your defense like that. So a great shot by Strathman.
Yeah, good job able to send that shot through all the people. Great job by the goalie to keep track of that all the way in.
So the Goose win another one back. Again, back to Strathman. He keeps it in, fans on it momentarily. And now that's chipped out by Cody Clark. McFarland pursues. Strathman gets there first, and he chips it out. All right, Haynes now for the Blues. Looking for an opening. Gets it over to Clark. Just onside. He dumps it down where it's taken by Strathman again, and chipped out by the Goose. Now here comes Matt Burns. He's got a step. Looking for a shot. Punselin comes out to get the angle. Cameron Bros, what an individual effort, dove for that puck. He saw Punselin out of the net and dove for it, and in one motion swept it towards the goal. And that was an incredible goal, Scott. And now the Goose double their lead to 2-0.
Yeah, that's just all-around team hustle there from the Goose. Great play on the center ice to get that one in. Way to keep a step up on the two defensemen that were chasing him. Great save by Punselin, but there's just nobody there for the rebound, and it's just a wide-open net.
So the proud but few Wild Goose, with only 9 skaters today, find themselves up 2 with just over a minute to go here in the opening period. All right, Blues looking to counter now. It's chipped out by Sargent. Sesher gets that back to Adams. Shoots it just past Malang. Collins now for the Blues. Malang keeps that in. Tries to center, but nobody home. Now Coleman's going to clear it for the Blues. Looking to hit Patton, but Pashka gets there first. Now Coleman again deflects. And Dunt chips it in. Patton again. 1-on-3. Coleman trying to get it across, but that's broken up. And now Malang battles with Collin. Here comes Malang. He's got a break. 18 seconds to go. Just shoots it wide. Coleman chips it around. Kept in by Adams. Collins now just trying to run out the clock. And that'll just about do it. So Scott, after kind of a slow start, the Goose really turned things on and just about had another one there at the closing seconds of the first, and that would have been disaster for the Blues.
Oh yeah, it's one thing you can say about having a short bench is that the people that are playing are more engaged in the game because you're not off the ice that much, so you're constantly coming and going. It's just like the Blues are maybe a step behind, maybe a little asleep still, but they got the bodies. They need to work on clean passes, stop shooting it at the person right in front of them, and get that pressure back on them to be able to get back into this game.
So you mentioned it. They've definitely got the advantage in numbers. What do they do to exploit that advantage going forward? Because the Goose have 9, like you say, so you would think that as time goes on throughout this game, that's going to become more of a factor. So what do the Blues do?
They need to keep skating. Don't stand around and wait for a pass. Keep your head up, look around to see where they're at and where you're at, and try to find an open lane between you and the guy that's got the puck to get an open pass. And then once you get your feet moving, you wear them out trying to chase you around.
All right, so getting ready for the second period, which of course is the long change in terms of shift changes. So we'll keep our eye on that. But it's the Goose who own a 2-0 lead. And again, first period goals by Josh Malang, unassisted, and then Cameron Brose from the assist by Matt Burns. So 2-0 Goose as we start the second. One back by the Blues to Duncan. Tries to get over to Wubbin. Goes just past her reach. But Burketto keeps that in. That's broken up nicely by Adams, who chips it out, where Sargent will retrieve it for the Blues. Brody Sargent now. Adams is going to try to clear that for the Goose, and just does. Jensen now brings it back in. And that's kept in momentarily by Burketto. Now here comes Brose, who scored that beautiful goal in the first. Down in the corner, he centers. Good centering pass. That's just broken up, and now Adams tries to shoot. That goes wide. So the Goose kind of picking up where they left off. Now the Blues a little bit back on their heels. Sargent looking to clear. He fans on it momentarily, and that allows Cameron Brose to chip it back in, where it's taken by Duncan. Duncan goes up along the boards, but not quite out. Kept in by Sesher. He chips it around, and now Sargent will retrieve for the Blues. Just got out of the zone, and now the Goose will have to reset as Adams dumps it back in. That's a smart play, Scott, because they wanted a line change, and now they easily get it as they chip it in deep.
Yeah, and the Blues had a hard time keeping the puck, getting the puck out. So the second that they do, you get a second, collect yourself, dump it right back in, get that line change.
All right, so we have an icing on the play, just underway here in the second. 2-0 Goose. Great to have you with us on D-League Radio. We're also brought to you today by Red Dragon Herbs, custom blended tea, loose leaf herbal teas from around the world. Popular favorites include anti-inflammatory, Turkish apple, and of course the ever popular chai. All right, so the face-off to the right of Punselin. One back by the Goose. Straithman handles, chips that down deep where it's taken by Duncan. Duncan now is going to bring it up himself. Tries to get up to Cody Clark and does. Clark chips it up. That's going to be retrieved by Straithman. Clark now gets it back deep. The Blues have to reset and do. Duncan again. Gets around one man. Duncan overskates the puck temporarily. Gets it to the middle. Now Barnhill dumps it in. Sesher now for the Goose, trying to get it out. Can't quite get it past McFarland. Now Barnhill in the neutral zone for the Blues. Dunt tangles with Clark, gets around him. He's got Torgerson in the middle.
Oh, looks like that might have been offsides.
And I think it was either a late offsides or a penalty. It looks like it's going to be an offsides. Yes, just offsides. So the puck will come just outside the zone. We wanted to finish our thought on Red Dragon Herbs. They now are being, their products are now being served at the 1882 Coffee Company in Bondurant. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's probably a good first step for Ryan and his company there.
The future business mogul.
Future business mogul.
I like it.
Just got to get in the door somewhere, right?
All right, so dumped in by Pashka. That's retrieved by Barnhill, who wraps it around, but it's kept in by the Goose. Shot on goal. And that was Matt Burns. Never a bad idea to put it on goal. And Punslin calmly gloves that one, and both teams will change it up.
Yeah, the Goose are just, even being in the short bench, they are engaged, they are calm, they are collected, and they're just in control of this game so far.
Well, like you said, when you have that short bench, it actually improves your focus because you know you don't have a lot of help, so you got to make smart decisions on the ice and keep your shift short, and so far that's what the Goose are doing. All right, so Barnhill chips it up, but that's kept in by Strathman. Hard shot, but that goes wide. And Strathman really gets a torque on that puck. It goes hard. We saw it right there.
It's definitely one of the hardest shots, probably in the novice, and definitely probably still maybe in all of the CIDL.
Just out of the zone, so the Blues are going to have to reset. Wiggins is still offsides. Now Strathman brings it up. That's pursued by Bros, but Barnhill gets there first. Right up the middle, but he gets it out. Now Pashka now for the Goose. Tried to hit Bros, but just out of his reach, and now Barnhill retrieves for the Blues. He's going to wrap it around looking for Coleman. Coleman and Burns just sort of having a staring contest down there, but finally it's chipped out by the Blues. Patton chips it in, and he pursues. Tries to get it on net. That's just wide.
Right idea. He had Coleman on the back door if that was to go through the crease as opposed to behind the net.
And the Goose chip it out. Malang gives pursuit, but Haynes is going to get there first. He wraps it around for Coleman out of his reach, and that will go for icing. So, Scott, we're seeing a little bit of pushback by the Blues, but nothing really on net right now.
Yeah, I mean, they had that last little rush there by Patton was a really good play. He was able to chip it in deep, beat the defense to the puck, and he had Coleman coming with him on the backside. It's just when he took his shot, it just got directed behind the net as opposed to through the crease, which was good by Nick Peters, the goalie, to keep that behind the net, not letting it go through to the back door.
All right, so the Blues win the face-off. Taken behind the net by Haynes. Chips it up, but not out. Good keep in there by Dunt. That's steered aside by Punslin. Now Sargent takes it behind the net. Strathman can't quite keep that in, so the Goose are going to have to reset. Strathman dumps it in. And the Goose reset. Do not make a line change because, again, they only have 4 extra skaters. Now the Blues come out. Here comes Bricketto by himself. Gets it just wide. Now that's just chipped out where it's taken by Collins temporarily. But now Dunt chips it up. Good play there by Reed Jensens to break that up. All right, here come the Blues again.
Oh, just off a skate.
Just into the zone, and Strathman chips it back out. So the Blues just missing on a lot of these passes.
Yeah, that's one of the things that they really need to work on is crisper passes will make life a lot easier for the Blues.
Strathman trying to hit Dunt just out of his reach. Sargent now wraps it around. Trying to find Wubbin. Just off her skates, and it's taken by Bricketto. Bricketto up for Jensen. Bricketto's in the middle if Jensen can get it to him. Fires it.
Ooh.
Oh, and just over his stick. One of the best chances of the game there for the Blues.
That's exactly what the Blues need to do is to get that pass through, and it just couldn't quite finish it, but that's a step in the right direction for the Blues.
Well, if you get a player in front of the net and get your stick down, good things will happen. They just missed on that one. So if you're the Blues, I think you want to try that again as soon as possible.
Yeah, maybe not try so much taking as hard as a stab at the puck as it's coming towards you. When you're that close, just let it hit it and just let it deflect in.
All right, so the face-off to the right of Nick Foster, one back by the Blues. That's deflected wide by Adams, kept in though. Now Strathman looks to clear and does. Good play there by Strathman. And here comes Bros in pursuit. Punselin comes out to clear it wide, but it's kept in. Matt Burns now with the puck. He's shooting, that's deflected by Haynes. Now Strathman retrieves it in the neutral zone.
Nice play there by Nick to help his goalie out and take that shot.
Now Haynes again takes it along the goal line. Fires up where it's deflected by Hippen and then retrieved by Phil Pashka. Pashka dumps it in. Haynes looking to clear and does. And now it's Patrick McFarland. Can't quite get around Strathman. That's a tall order, pardon the pun. But Strathman does make the play and brings it in. Strathman still with the puck, just fires it wide. And it's taken by McFarland. McFarland now brings it out himself. Trying to get around Pashka. They battle along the boards. Tries to center, and that's turned aside by Foster. Strathman now wraps it around. Bros chips it out, and the Blues will reset. Adams now. Up to Bros. Bros is trying to center. Good defense there, or that was wide open for the Goose.
Yeah, he played that 2-on-1 perfectly there.
Now here comes Patton. He's got a little bit of room. Comes in. Patton. Foster, big save. So the best opportunity of the game for the Blues. Patton really poured on the speed, even though the angle was very sharp. Nick Foster was aggressive and made a fine save there, Scott.
Yeah, perfect opportunity to what you do is when you're in those bad angles is just drive towards the net. He did. He got the goalie to move. He tried to go backside, but Nick was able to get just enough piece of it. But again, he was the only one driving the net. There was nobody there for the Blues to gather a rebound.
And great edge work, too. He maintained control there, so he didn't crash the goalie. Very nice play. All right, so the Blues keep it in. Patton again shoots. That's deflected wide. And finally, the Goose clear it out. That's Dunt who chips it in. Now the Blues clear it out. That was Patton again. He's everywhere right now. Coleman battles with Pashka. Now Torgerson appears. He fans on it. Tries to get it back, but it's taken by Barnhill. Goose do keep it in, though. Now it's Torgerson again. Looking to center. That one's deflected wide. Now Wiggins trying to clear. Just does trickle out for the Blues. The Goose dump it right back in. Scott with a short bench, that's smart hockey right there.
Yeah, just keep playing in your zone, cut that ice in half, and you can conserve a little bit of energy.
Right, so they chip it up again. Torgerson's going to get there first. They wave off icing.
Ooh.
Accidentally shot it on his own net there.
Yeah, looked like it hit the side of the cage on the outside.
So Strathman and Patton battle. It's one back by Patton. That one's deflected wide. Good deflection there by Torgerson. Now Pashka chips it out. It's right in the skates of Lyle Collins. He's going to dump it back in. Blues need to get onside. Now they are. Now Patton comes back in. Sesher's going to get there first. Sesher goes right up the middle. It's kept in by Coleman. But Pashka gets there for the Goose. Tries to chip it up for Malang and does. Now Malang's got a step. He shoots, but Punselin makes a big save. Now Wiggins now for the Blues. He chips it out. A lot of back and forth action right now. Sesher dumps it back in where it's retrieved by Collins. 7:35 to go in the second period. Still 2-0 Wild Goose.
Yeah, that was a huge save there by Punselin there on that shot. Way to keep his legs down, keep the puck out, and keep his team in the game.
So here comes Jensen. He's bothered by Strathman, and that's deflected up into the netting. So a long time between whistles there, Scott. Lots of great action.
Yeah, it's the Blues are trying, man. They're doing their best to keep this game interesting. But Foster and the Goose are just up to the task on every opportunity they've had.
All right, so this face-off will be to the left of Foster. It's going to be Burketto for the Blues, lining up against Jake Adams. One back by the Goose, but now it's Brody Sargent who gets it at the point for the Blues. Wubben now gets it. She's trying to center. But Matt Burns emerges with it. Just got it past Sargent. Now he's got Bros with him, and now they're off sides. And here comes Jensen. By himself, 1 against 3. He's got Wubben now coming late. And also Burketto. Now Pashka tries to hit Dunt just off of his reach. And now Jeff Duncan gets it for the Blues. Duncan now in front of his own net. Gets it up to Burketto, who brings it in. Burketto trying to get around Strathman. Centers, but that's behind Jensen. Kept in by Sargent. Sargent now, still with it. But now Strathman chips it out. Duncan gets it over to Burketto. Zach Burketto looking for help. He's behind the net. Trying to wrap around. Wubben went right over that puck.
Right place, just the puck just didn't find her stick.
And now Adams chips it out where Duncan retrieves. Again, Strathman. Josh Strathman's going to sleep very well tonight.
He is all over the place. It looks like they're only rolling 3D, so all of them are getting double shift, but he has been everywhere.
All right, so battle in the neutral zone. It emerges over to Dunt. He's going to bring it in. Dunt shoots wide. And now Duncan tries to chip it out and does. And Jensen just overskated that. He had a step on Strathman. He couldn't quite get that puck cleanly. So Burketto's going to reset for the Blues. 4:40 to go in the second. Still 2-0 Goose. Great to have you with us on D-League Radio. It's a little battle there in the neutral zone. And now it's chipped in where it's taken by Pashka, who chips it out. Pashka gets it again. He's going to be pursued by Jensen. Burketto's looking to seal off the board. But he does get it out. Now here comes Malang. He's got Dunt with him, but that's broken up very nicely by Sargent. Brody Sargent brings it in. That is deflected wide by Pashka. Sargent again. He fans on it momentarily. That's kept in very nicely by Burketto. Still with the puck. Now he's tied up, but he pursues it and manages to keep it in. Now finally the Goose do clear, but great individual effort there by Burketto.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can do to try to will a little effort.
And here comes Malang. He's bothered by Jensen. Ooh, and that was a dangerous play there. Looks like everybody's okay. Back to the neutral zone. Goose are still off sides. Here comes Jensen again. The end of a shift, but he's going to stay out there. Jensen still with the puck. Tries to center, but that's broken up. He was trying to find Hippen out front. And the puck just squirts out of the zone, so the Blues are going to have to reset. McFarland now, pursued by Matt Burns. McFarland just gets it over to Barnhill. And now the Blues are going to bring it in. Now they chip it around where it's taken by Hippen. But now Matt Burns emerges for the Goose. And now they chip it out. They're trying to hit Bros, but that's going to be too far. And we have an icing call. So 2:15 to go in the second, still 2-0 Goose.
Yeah, it looks like the Blues, they're trying their best. They're making plays. It's just a bounce here, half a stick blade there, and everything's just kind of going against them, just trickling out of the zone, missing sticks.
Yeah, and the Goose are doing a really nice job. It's almost like a bend but don't break defense. They're letting them bring it into the zone, but then they're really sealing the area in the slot. A lot of pucks are getting deflected wide.
Yeah, and they're protecting that lead like they're supposed to.
All right, Burns looking to clear. That's kept in by Haynes. He shoots wide. That was a hard shot. Just went wide. Now Clark eludes him, but it's kept in by Barnhill. Clark chips it down for McFarland. Hippen tries to get out front. Centers,
Ooh.
and just over Hippen's stick. We've seen that a number of times, Scott. Pucks are just hopping over sticks when the Blues are in front of the net.
Yeah, it looks like he just didn't quite see it because it was just kind of sitting there after Foster tried poking it out with his stick. Just need a little bit of luck now for the Blues here.
And that's chipped in by Hippen. Foster's going to take it. Now he decides wisely to cover that one up. So just a little over a minute to go here in the second period. 2-0 Goose.
Yeah, the Blues are just doing everything that they can. They're pushing back. They're engaged. They're spending a lot of time in the offensive zone. They just need that first one. If they can get that first one, it's just going to be huge.
Most definitely at 2-0. The next goal obviously is very big. If the Goose get it, they go up 3. Well, there you don't see that every day. The Goose weren't ready, and the face-off happened anyway. Haynes fired it wide. Barnhill keeps it in for the Blues. Just about picked off by Torgerson, but Haynes now gets it. That goes wide. Again, another deflection by the Goose. That's going to be cleared, but that is all the way down for an icing. So, Scott, I started to say, if the Goose get the next goal, they go up 3, and that's a very tall order for the Blues. But if the Blues can get one, this is a brand new game.
Yeah, I mean, and even there, that last series of play in the offensive zone for the Blues, they had 2 bodies in front of the net. They center it across, and it just so happens to hit a Goose stick instead of one of theirs, and it gets cleared out.
All right, so that will do it for the second period. So after 2, it is Wild Goose 2 and the Blues nothing. I want to also remind you that D-League Radio broadcasts are brought to you by So Cherry, screen printing and sewing, your short-run garment decorating specialist, custom jerseys or uniforms for any sport, and the official outfitter of the CIDL. So this is the first of 5 games. Coming up on the schedule next is the Stampede versus the Squirrels, and the first intermediate matchup of the day, followed by the Jesters and Benders at 2 o'clock, Wolverines Wanderers at 3:15, and then back to the Novice Division for the last game at 4:30, the Knights and the Bandits. So a good day of action here.
Yeah, looking forward to that next game up. Be able to watch a good portion of that before I have to get ready for my game between the Stampede and the Squirrels. Both teams, I think, looking to make a push there up the standings.
All right, so at 2-0, we have an 18-minute third period, of course, which means if that margin of score is kept or even narrowed, it'll have stop time in the last 2 minutes. So the Blues, again, do they need to do anything different or keep doing what they're doing and hoping to finally cash one in?
I think they just need to keep doing what they're doing because what they've been doing has been working. It's just off a little bit here, off a little bit there. So don't change the course of action too much here. Just hopefully try to clean up the execution just a little bit.
All right, so the teams reset. Now we start the third. Sargent gets it for the Blues. He's trying to get it up to Bricketto. That's broken up by Dunt. Looks like we're going to have a penalty.
Yeah, it looked like a tripping call there.
So that's going to be number 88, Brody Sargent, 2 minutes. And the Blues can ill afford that, Scott, because he is one of their best defenders, plus they are now on the penalty kill.
I was just going to say, out of the people that I've seen play today for the Blues take a penalty, he's the one that you don't want to be sitting for the 2 minutes.
And obviously that was not an intentional thing. It just happened as they tangled up. But nevertheless, the Blues find themselves shorthanded. All right, Strathman now. And that is just deflected wide. That puck was deflected by a Blues player. I believe it was Duncan, and the puck was just sitting there on the doorstep. Now Strathman again deflected wide. The Blues just dodged 2 bullets there, Scott.
Oh, huge plays.
Now Torgerson gets it for the Goose as they look to reset. Dumps it back in. Duncan and Dunt battle, and now Lyle Collins emerges. He wraps it around and out for the Blues. So the Goose look to reset. Just keep it onside. Kept in by Strathman. Strathman has shown he is not afraid to shoot from anywhere.
No, and his shots are heavy, and they're fairly accurate for the most part.
Yeah, he's getting a lot on them, but they are just going wide or they're getting tipped on net. So he will take that all day. And the Goose again keep it in. That's Dunt, still on his feet. And finally, Bricketto emerges for the Blues. So Bricketto's going to take it in. Looking for some help.
He's got nobody with him, though.
Nevertheless, doing a lot of killing of the penalty, so good job there by Bricketto. Now Duncan with it, he's going to dump it deep. And now the penalty is down to under 30 seconds.
That was a good play there by Duncan, just to hold the puck, wait for somebody to come to him to milk that clock.
All right, so Bricketto again. He is the all over the ice man for the Blues. Now Collins wraps it around. Goose looking to keep it in and do. Still kept in. That's Josh Malang with a couple of nice keep-ins. Now Collins has it. Penalty time is up. Strathman keeps it in, though. Strathman shoots. That's off Collins. That goes wide. Now Malang looks to center. That one's wide. And that time, Josh Dunt got one on net, but Punselin was ready. It looked a lot like Cameron Brose's goal earlier.
Yeah, he was able to track that puck across the crease, lay out, get the paddle down, and was able to get a stick on it and save it.
So Wubbin now with the puck. She tries to get it up to Jensen. He chips it out, and he will pursue. Pashka's going to get there first, and we have another icing call. 14:30 to go, still 2-0 Goose. So Scott, the Blues killed off that penalty, but now time starts to become a factor. I think, when do you think they need to start taking some more chances?
I think the D, for them, they should really start pitching in the way it is now, because you got to get 2 goals back, and Foster's proven to be tracking the puck pretty well in their zone, so you got to take every change you can get.
And we've definitely seen from the Blues very good skaters back there on D. All right, so that's deflected wide. Haynes now gets it. He tangles with Adams. Puck is centered, but nobody home for the Goose. Clark looking to clear, but that's kept in by Sesher. Now Hippen battles. And that is taken by Haynes. He's got McFarland in the middle if he can get it to him. But that one is steered aside by Pashka. Good defense there. Now Brose with it. Gets it over to Malang. Malang's got a step. Shoots and scores. So there's the dagger, maybe. We still got quite a bit of time left, but that is now 3-0 for the Goose. Very impressive play by Malang. Scott, he got that puck, had to pull it across to his forehand, and then waited that extra second for an opening, and he made no mistake.
Yeah, it was a good play all around by the Goose. A way to wait out the goalie. Damon got down a little early, and he was able to pick his spot. And then you start seeing a little stick slaps from the Blues, a little eyes looking towards the sky. They need to keep it together, and hopefully they can make a contest out of this.
So the Blues now find themselves trailing by 3, and they really need one quickly. All right, now they chip it in, but it's chipped back out by the Goose. And that's going to go the length of the ice for the icing call. So if you're the Goose, who are already obviously with a short bench, you can pretty much just chip it deep now.
Yeah, with the 3-goal lead, the no stop clock anymore. So if you get an opportunity, you can just throw it down the ice. If maybe take a step back or two at the blue line and don't try to pinch in to keep pucks in the offensive zone. Puck possession is going to be key.
And they do exactly that, chip it down, but not deep enough for icing. Now Sargent will have to retrieve it for the Blues.
Only one forechecker here, which is good play there by the Goose.
That one's kept in. Well, just out of the zone, they're going to say. Looked like Dunt may have kept that in, but just came out of the zone. But with that running clock and the fact that they get to make a line change if they want to, the Goose will take that all day.
Mm-hmm. Get a chance to catch your breath, get a swig of water if you need it.
All right, 11:33 to go now. Still 3-0 Goose. Now Patton trying to get around Sesher. Good job by Sesher to keep that puck in front of him. He gets it up to Burns. Burns over to Dunt, just off his stick. Now it's chipped aside by Duncan. Duncan doing the best goaltender impression there, and he makes the save. Now Dunt again centers. Now it's Patton trying to split the defense. Good job there by Torgerson to break that up. Now Dunt tries to get around Duncan. Duncan chips that aside. Sesher keeps that in. Duncan looking for the stretch pass now. Trying to get Patton. Goes off his skate. Now here comes Wiggins. Wiggins chips it deep. That goes behind the net. And Foster's seen enough. He looked like he was trying to keep that puck active, but then saw a Blues player immediately to his right and wisely froze that puck.
Yeah, it came off of a strong bounce off the backboards and came up towards him, and it looked like maybe it trickled past his leg pad up in front of him, maybe lost sight of it for a second, but was able to collect it, freeze it.
All right, face off to the right of Foster. Patton gets it back to Collins. Collins fires on net.
Oh,
puck still loose and somehow cleared by the Goose. Now here comes Malang, just overskated it. Patton's going to bring it back in, but nobody with him. Now Duncan's going to retrieve it for the Blues. Duncan now skates it up himself. Gets around Bros. Duncan's still with the puck. Duncan's going to shoot it. Good shot there by Duncan, just stirred aside by Foster. And Scott, that's that pushback and pinch in we were talking about from the Blues defenseman, so good play there by Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan had a lane. Nobody was coming out to challenge him. They were giving him the zone, and he just came in and took it and was able to get a good shot off that got one of the few that got by the defender right in front of him and on net.
All right, so the face-off to the right of Foster. It's won by the Blues, trying to get it back there, but now Collins gets it at the point. That's chipped into the corner. Jensen now back to Collins. Collins centers. That's picked off. Here comes Pashka. Pashka gets around Haynes. He's got a lane and shoots. Punslin makes the save. So good defense there by Haynes to keep Pashka wide. And Punslin just had to worry about the one angle and made a nice save.
Yeah, it's a good play for the Blues to keep him wide, to keep that angle as easy to cover as they could for Punslin, and he was able to step up and make the save.
All right, so face off to the right of Punslin. Draws one back by Bricketto. The puck is cleared by the Blues. Bricketto's trying to catch up to it and does. He's got Jensen in the middle, shoots it wide, and that's going to go all the way out of the zone, where it's taken by Haynes. He chips it in. That's retrieved by Pashka. Just under 8 minutes to go now. Still 3-0 Goose.
That was a good pass.
Just off the stick of Dunt. Now Jensen looks to get it, but he tangles with Sesher. Dunt chips it back to Malang. Now Collins, he clears it back, but it's taken by Sesher. So the Goose just content to intercept that puck and dump it back in. Now Dunt chips it in, where it's taken by Haynes. He gets it up to Wubbin. Jennifer Wubbin now. She tries to get around Malang. They do battle. Now Wubbin again. And here comes Burketto. Zach Burketto brings it in. He's forced wide by Pashka. Good play there by Phil Pashka. So Pashka emerges with it. He clears the zone. It's tipped up, and now Matt Burns has a step. Just overskates it, though, and now Haynes gets back. And Punchland made the save, but the puck was loose, and Bros almost had another one. He centers it.
Yeah, he was in the right place at the right time. He just didn't quite get enough of it that second time around.
Wubbin now skates it up. Strathman backs up. Now he chips it off. Just out of the zone for the Goose. Now Burns with it. Trying to get it up to Bros. Now Bros takes it. Still in the zone. Burns in the slot. Shoots. And that's turned aside by Punchland. 6:10 to go now. 3-0 Goose. Strathman keeps it in. He chips it over to Torgerson. Torgerson battles with Burketto. Looks like we're going to have a call here.
Yeah, it looked like they were getting a little too feisty in the corner there for him.
All right, so that's going to be Todd Torgerson going to the penalty box with 5:41 to go. And obviously, Scott, down 3-0. The Blues need to take advantage of this.
Yeah, they need to take this man advantage and get that goal and get it quick before you start thinking about any type of pull in the goalie situation or anything like that. You need to get this one here, and you need to get it before the end of the 4-minute mark.
All right, so the clock continues to tick. We have the face-off to the left of Nick Foster. Blues set up the power play. It's one back by Patton. A little miscommunication there. Coleman was trying to chip it back to Barnhill, but now they're out of the zone. We'll have to reset. So precious seconds go off the clock in the Blues power play. Now Duncan brings it back in. Duncan tries to shoot, but that's deflected by Sesher. Blues keep it in. Now Patton from the high slot. He fires it over the net. Retrieves his own puck. That's broken up by Strathman, but kept in by Barnhill. Barnhill shoots. That's deflected.
Oh!
Just out of reach. And now the Blues score. So that puck was loose for what seemed like an eternity. And finally, Captain Matt Coleman corralled that puck, and there it is. The Blues get on the board.
Yeah, and they needed plenty of time still left in this game. It's one of those things that looked like it was just not going to go. He had it. He tried chipping it. He almost missed it. It looked like he hit a pile of snow, slowed down. He was able to get it corralled back in and tip back in, and the Goose were just kind of staring while Foster's trying to do what he can do to get back to the post.
So, Scott, you called it that they needed to score before the 4-minute mark, and indeed they did, or the 16-minute mark as it is, just 4 minutes to go. Foster cleared that right up the middle. Holy smokes, but he managed to get away with it. Now the Goose bring it in. This is Malang. Malang with a step. Malang still with the puck, just shoots it wide. That slot was wide open.
Yeah, Duncan was covering the guy that was with him, covering the pass. And it's probably at a certain point where you need to start bleeding off of the guy and take the shooter to stop him from coming in.
Now McFarland having trouble getting the puck, but he finally does up to Cody Clark. Good play there.
That was a good pass.
Clark sends it across, but that's behind Hippen. Now here comes Malang again. Good play by Sargent to break that up. 3:10 to go now. 3-1 Goose. That's just chipped out, and now the Blues need to reset. That's McFarland. Patrick McFarland still with the puck. That's chipped out by Malang. Malang brings it in. Collins breaks that up and steers it aside, where it's taken by Sargent. Sargent overskates it. Malang centers, but that's broken up by McFarland. Good play there by Patrick McFarland.
Yeah, good job controlling that puck, too, because where he was at, if he deflect that any harder, if their goalie is snapping, that's going to go in.
So 2.5 minutes to go now. Blues looking to clear. Collins tries, but Strathman just wasn't able to keep that in. It just came out.
One of the few times he wasn't able to keep that puck in today.
I was going to say his percentage is about 85. He's done very well at doing that today. The clock continues to tick, but now we have that 2-goal gap, so in another 5 seconds, if they haven't dropped that puck, the clock will stop. And it just happens at the 2-minute mark. And now Patton tries to bring it in. Can't quite get around Pashka. Good play by Pashka. He chips it out of play. Clock stops with 1:54 to go. So the Blues continue to press. Scott, you're down by 2 with under 2 minutes. Do you pull Punselin?
I'd probably wait maybe another 15, 20 seconds. See if this line can get a goal here quick before you do that.
Let the Goose emerge with it. And now it's Torgerson, fresh out of the box. He centers just behind Dunt.
Oh, they got numbers that people can skate.
And now Patton takes it.
Oh.
Good poke check there by Phil Pashke to break that up. Coleman chips it down. Minute and a half to go. Goose looking to clear and do. Blues are now offsides. Sesher now takes his time because no one was pressing him, and that will be icing.
I would pull the goalie now. You're gonna have an offensive zone face-off. Just over a minute left in this game. I would pull my goalie and go 6 skaters and hope to keep the puck in your own zone.
I believe Punselin is thinking like you are. He keeps glancing over the bench, but so far no signal, and he is staying in the net. The Blues still down by 2 at 3-1. It looks like McFarland thought it was going to happen because he came out on the ice as a 6th skater, but has to retreat to the bench. Chipped out by the Goose, and that will be another icing. All right, so now it's 1:01. Now the drama continues. Will Punselin come out this time?
I don't know. He doesn't look like it. He's just kind of content standing there. But I would make an effort to get down there and tell him that, we need you off the ice because we need more attackers, but he's not going.
All right, so the face-off to the right of Foster. Paquetto chips it back to McFarland. He shoots. That's deflected. Reed Jensen trying to get to it. He battles with Strathman. Strathman wraps it around. That's chipped out by Dunt, and Paquetto knocks it back in. Clock continues to tick. Under 40 seconds now. Sesher wraps it around. That is cleared up to Dunt. But Nick Haynes is going to get there first. He chips it up to Jensen. Jensen brings it in over to Paquetto, just past him. He pursues, and that's wrapped around. Kept in nicely by Sargent. Now McFarland centers. That goes wide. 10 seconds to go now. Haynes gets it at the point. He's going to dump it in, and that's just about going to do it.
Yep.
All right, so the Goose grabbed the lead early, and they kept it throughout this game, and they emerged with the victory 3-1.
Yeah, the short bench didn't affect the Goose at all today. They did what they needed to do. They kept engaged in the game. The players that were here played extremely well positionally and conserved quite a bit of energy when they needed to.
Yeah, very smart effort on the count of the Goose. When you have 9 skaters, you better make it count because you can't afford to waste energy because you're going to be out there more than you're used to, and they did a very nice job of managing that aspect of the game. And for the Blues, I thought they battled well. They had their chances early. Obviously, they didn't convert them. Mm-hmm. And then they finally got the goal late from Coleman. We'll go over the scoring summary shortly. But in the end, it wasn't enough, and it was a very gutsy effort on part of the Goose on a short bench.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Blues did what they should have done. They worked hard. They tried. It's just sometimes the puck just doesn't bounce your way, so maybe next time.
All right, so to recap the scoring summary, Josh Malang opened the scoring at 15:39, unassisted. And at 18:17, also in the first, Cameron Brose scored, assisted by Matt Burns. That was that diving play we saw down here at the north end, a beautiful goal. No score in the second. And then in the third, The Wild Goose again go up 3-0 on a goal by Josh Malang with the assist by Cameron Bros. And finally, the Blues break through on a crazy scramble in front of the net. Matt Coleman finally tucks that in, assisted by both Barnhill and Patton. So our final score is 3-1. The Wild Goose improved to 9-3-3, good for 21 points, and the Blues fall to 5-8-2. They stay at 12. So Scott, any final thoughts here on this one?
It was a pretty good game all the way around. Like I said, it's just a little puck luck the Blues needed, and they didn't have it. But the Goose did what they needed to do with the short bench. They stayed engaged. They cut the ice in half. A lot of keeps. Strathman was all over the ice along that blue line, and they just came out the victors.
All right, so that'll just about do it. We do want to remind you that all of D-League Radio games are brought to you by the Keg Stand, now in its third year as the primary sponsor of D-League Radio. Located at 3530 Westtown Parkway in West Des Moines, over 90 beers on tap, and some of the best food in town, and great specials all day, Monday through Friday, open till 2 a.m., 7 days a week, and the official home of the D-League and D-League Radio, the Keg Stand. So Cherry, custom screen printing and sewing, your short-run garment decorating specialist and the official outfitter of the CIDL. And finally, Red Dragon Herbs, our own Ryan Llewellyn, the proprietor of Red Dragon Herbs. And exciting news, they are now serving their products at the 1882 Coffee Company in Bondurant, so look for them there. All right, so coming up next is the 12:45 matchup, the Stampede and Squirrels. John Reichard and Patrick Samborski will be bringing you that one. 2 o'clock is the Jesters and Benders. 3:15, Wolverines and Wanderers, and finally the Knights and Bandits at 4:30. So lots of great action, all of which will be found on D-League Radio and D-League Radio TV. So, for executive producer Rich Harms, for Scott Stouffer, I'm Matt Whips. You've been listening to D-League Radio.